Hey, what's up guys, DiplexHeated here again, welcome back to Men of War Assault Squad and welcome back to Ukraine and World War III. Now before we start the full-scale amphibious assault here by the Russians, we're going to take a look at the defenses that the US Marine Corps have set up. This is what the Russians will be facing. So, here by the beach, we can first spot two Humvees, plenty of US Marine Corps infantry, with various weaponry. We're talking sniper rifles, machine guns, 80 weaponry and whatnot in various shapes and forms too. Lighter and heavier 80 weaponry. We're talking javelins and regular 84s, I believe. More infantry here on the high ground by the beach. This is going to be overlooking the beach itself. Plenty of infantry, the same kind of weaponry. These guys are well equipped for today's battle, so even though they're not very heavy on armor here by the beach, their weaponry will be able to stop everything that the Russians are essentially throwing at them. It's going to come down to precision, accuracy, and training here. Of course, numbers are also going to play a big role. We have some more positions here that are entrenched as we look at the village here, which is pretty much abandoned now. The only presence in this village is men from the US Marine Corps defending this southwestern Ukrainian city. This is west of Crimea. That's why the Russians are invading here, because they're having trouble by the front line, of course, near Kiev and whatnot. And to break through, perhaps a naval invasion further behind enemy territory could be a good way to distract the NATO forces in the area. So that is what they're going to do. More troops here on the left side. We saw an LAV there on the road with more infantry and another entrenched position on the hill. This is a little bit further away from the main beach, but they're covering their flanks. And more infantry back there. I think I spot a Mark 19 grenade launcher. One of those static weapons, a deployed one that it's going to be quite troublesome there if it's covering the road. And then we have another bit of a roadblock, it seems, with another LAV-25. More U.S. infantry. Marine Corps is the U.S. force today. We're not going to see any Army Rangers or anything else. It's just going to be all Marine Corps here that the U.S. deployed to Ukraine. And we also have some Army assets, though. We're talking Bradleys, which I believe the USMC don't really use, as far as I'm concerned. That could be outdated information on my side, of course. Mainly these Paladins here, which will be able to cover the entire city below, which is more or less abandoned. And the US aren't really fortifying the village itself. They don't want to get into too many sort of urban close quarter engagements with the Russians. So they're going to be taking up defensive positions on hills and high grounds and in open areas where it's more of a clear vision on the enemy. So that's cool. More Bradleys. And once again, those two nasty artillery pieces that's going to be able to cover the entire city below, or village or town or whatever you want to call it. So that's going to be tricky for the Russians to take. That hill is definitely going to be a main objective. Another roadblock down here with plenty of infantry, another LAV-25 and another Humvee with a 50 cal on it. And I think I mentioned that there were two Humvees back there by the US infantry, and one of those had a tow on it. That missile is going to be deadly against the BTRs that are going to be attacking very soon. And we're coming up on a U.S. supply depot on the other side of the village. That's going to be another target that the Russians would like to eliminate. Well defended, plenty of infantry. Once again, not too heavy on the armor here. The reason why is this is obviously an important city and it's important to guard the coast. But the U.S. Or NATO in general, we're not exactly expecting a Russian naval invasion here. But just a few days ago, the NATO fleet in the Black Sea took some heavy beating from the Russian fleet. So the Russians have definitely cleared up an area. That's why we see more artillery and more presence here in general. Otherwise, there wouldn't be as many men here defending this coastline. It's quite far away from the front line where all the heavy armor and all the other NATO assets are. We're talking Germany, Britain, France, Poland, Italy, you name it, so much. And, well, I think that's the preview for now. We're not going to talk too much about that. We're going to head to the battle itself right away, and we're going to click start. All right, guys, the battle is on. The Russians are attacking. I'm going to let the battle speak for itself. The first wave is arriving. 24 BTRs. Well, that means that they're carrying about 200 men in total out of the 400 Marines that are attacking in 2 waves. This is the first out of the 2. Then we have a third wave. And this is, by the way, men from the 880th Marine Battalion that are attacking right now. And then they're split up into 2 waves. There's going to be 400 men in total. This is the first 200 attacking right now. And we've got about, I think, 16 BTRs on this side. Actually, probably a little bit more than that. Tow missile away here from one of the defending units. The BTRs are attacking. Infantry will be dismounting in just a second here. And some of the Russian attackers on this side are running into a bit of a trouble here with the defenders. Plenty of AT weaponry that's being used against the BTRs, and it seems to be crippling them quite heavily. One of the missiles just missed there. We're going to look at the right side, where we have another 8 BTRs attacking. That means there's 16 on the left side. LAV down. A lot of the US infantry have been killed as well. Whoa, huge missile landed next to the LAV back there. More BTRs are moving out, so they're going to try and secure this side over here. And as we look to the left, quite a big distance in between here. How is this Russian assault going? Lots of casualties on the beach so far. The US are still holding their trenches up there, trying to target some of the Russian troops down on the beach below. Not a lot of action going on right here, but there's more going on this side. And we have another assault up here, where 4 BTRs to the left, it's about a platoon size, 30 men or so, are attacking one of the defenses a little further inland, which is being quite heavily defended now here by some of the troops in the air. We see an AT-4 over there, sniper rifles and machine guns. Is that an old law? That's very cool. Plenty of US casualties in the trenches. Some pretty serious combat back here. Not sure what has happened to this BTR, but it seems to run into some problems, so we're gonna try and... well, I don't know what we're gonna do to it. Try and give it a little hand so that the Russians can continue their glorious naval invasion. There we go, buddy. Get to the fight. It's looking like the Russians could need all the help they can get right now, because the Americans are holding their ground very steadily. Look at that. Well, we're going to look how it goes down here. More infantry from the left side. There's not really any defenses over here on this sort of slim coastline between what seems to be a bit of a lake here and the sea itself. No defenses were established on that side, and I can understand that from a defender's point of view. It's hard to have your back facing a lake right behind you. So lots of Russian infantry have come in here, and they've secured this area. The Humvees have been knocked out. I bet plenty of BTRs have been destroyed, though this one here is completely abandoned, and there's a few just sitting knocked out in the water with Russian casualties nearby. The infantry and BTRs are going to be gathering themselves, and they're going to be heading up. I see a commander over here who's doing a little target practice. This is one of the few commanders. He's a company commander. He's a captain right here. So he's in charge of about 100 men. So there's 2 captains in the first wave. There will be, of course, more coming in later in terms of officers. This here is a bit of a slaughter zone. They're going to need a lot more reinforcements. And the Russians down here are going to have to try and attack up here. But right now they're just establishing themselves down there, making sure they've got the landing zone cleared. How's it looking over here? Defenses are intact. The US is still very strong. They've actually defeated the majority of the first landing wave, but once again the Russians have cleared this hill out entirely, and it's looking quite good. They're just mopping it up, killing, making sure that all the Americans are, of course, dead on the ground. But plenty of BTRs knocked out back here, though. This one's active, but I think a few of these have, unfortunately, not been so well off. We see plenty of actual penetration holes in the BTRs over here. where some of the rockets have just punched through. Cool stuff. This one's abandoned as well. So plenty of BTRs knocked out already, and the US defenses are still very intact. I think right now some of these are going to be heading back down here to the beach. I might have to take a bit of a strategical command of the Russian forces to make sure that they continue with the attack. How's it looking on this side? Not good so far. Not good at all. Look at that. Plenty of Russian troops pinned here behind their vehicles. We have some of the crewmen back here with 80 infantry, just holding it back. This position is still standing very strong, but they've lost most of the infantry in the trenches, so that's pretty good on the Russians. How's it looking over here? This one's been knocked out with plenty of Russian casualties nearby. This is crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little. Wait, sorry about this. I'm on my phone for a second because I am actually looking for the name of some troops that are about to be deployed, which would be, of course, really good to have. Okay. Let's see here. Right, so the Baltic Fleet. This is the... no, not the Baltic, sorry. Black Sea Fleet. All the Russians today are part of the 810th Marine Brigade. But the men who are landing in 2 waves, this is wave 1, they're just securing the beach right now, is the 880th Marine Battalion. Then we actually have troops from the 888th Reconnaissance Battalion and whatnot else coming in later, as well as reinforcements, and they're going to be establishing their ground. They're going to land a little bit differently, and I think a lot of you guys are excited for that. But in order to continue the battle and make sure that it stays interesting, I am going to just dispatch some troops. Everyone is combat active. It's time to go. The second wave is here. That means it is indeed time to go. So the Russian Marines who have survived the first wave are now going to commence attacking the remaining defenses. And, well, here comes the second wave. Look at that. Powerful attack, powerful attack. But troops here in the center taking so many casualties. There's a second wave coming in here as well. I'm going to take direct command of these guys, and we're going to send them into the city itself. These guys are all on free move and stuff, so they should be fully capable of handling themselves. The first wave is going to take a bit of a rest, so to speak, back here, and the second wave have got all their infantry mounted already, so they're just going to be moving out and going for the enemy. We've got 4 going this way, and we have another 4 that's going to pass through the first wave. That's just securing the area here. And they're going to move up on the defenses back here. But right now we're entering the village. Checkpoint here on the side of it is just engaging Russian troops entering it right now. Taking a lot of fire, though. They're going to be forced to retreat. Russian Marines are disembarking. Humvee down. But there's still some US infantry there defending. How's it looking over here? Well, Russian Marines are starting to get to the high ground. They're clearing out the trenches. I don't seem to have any real active assets down here on the beach. There are a few that I can utilize. But look at the US. Another tow missile launch. That's going to hit the side of the BTR, almost knocking it out. This is some deadly stuff going on here right now. But the high ground has been more or less secured. And I think that what we have down here is going to be used for the attack further back up here. There's a supply depot here that we need to attack. It actually has been partially attacked by the BTRs on this side. And the battle is raging on this side. So let's dismount the infantry and let's continue assaulting the positions up there on the hill. And let's see if another 3, it used to be 4 active BTRs. 1 just got hit by the Bradley back up there. If they can take down the defense up there, I'm just excited to see how it's going to run. Second wave coming in. Bradleys are opening up. This is a really big battle. It's like really large scale. So many things going on all over the place, and it's like nicely slow paced in a way. So you can kind of split it up into segments. Bradley's taking a lot of fire now, but I don't think any of the weapons on the BTRs is going to be enough to knock out the Bradley itself. They're going to need more of the infantry's help down here that's going to be able to move up. I think oh, there we go. Some rockets were shot, and it's down. This defense has been pretty much defeated. Okay, guys. The reason why I'm in charge of these guys, I'm not really in control of them. I'm just in charge in terms of making sure that they're getting something done. I haven't scripted the actual attack of the second wave, just the arrival, so that in case the battlefield looked differently than I had predicted, they wouldn't just run in and get themselves killed pointlessly, because, trust me, no Russian Marine battalion would get themselves killed without a real fight. So, just giving them the potential of doing so. Roughly, I was planning on there being a few more. There we go, yes. 8 BTRs. Oops, sorry about that. There's a mini-map open in the background. I just accidentally clicked it. There we go. 8 BTRs from the second wave are now going to be assaulting one of the center positions here nearby the hill. Since we don't have a minimap, it might be hard for you guys to imagine what the map actually looks like and what the battle's like. But once the battle comes together more, it'll make more sense. And look at that. The attack is underway. Lots of fire going on here. 8 BTRs. That's going to total about 60 Marines in it. They're all going to be disembarking here and just dismounting. Sending out all the troops. Getting into the fight. Oh, I think I just accidentally dismounted the crew. That one. We don't want to do any of that. Okay, we'll let them continue the battle itself. I'm sure they'll be doing good making their way in there. This wave has done pretty good, I must say. I'm going to go ahead and enable HUD so that I can see what's going on here. And we're going to take a quick look at the minimap. And there you see, the red are the remaining US defenses. And the blue would be, of course, the Russian attackers. And we can see the different segments here, how we've cleared this out. And right now we're battling the checkpoint in here in the middle. And then we're going to gear up for the main assault on the hill, which is going to just be fantastic, I'm sure. And look at this, guys. Right in time. Here comes the remnants of the 810th. Not all of it, of course, but whatever was assigned to attacking this beach here today in 2017. Look at this. This is fucking awesome. Excuse my French. Look at that. Massive, massive hovercrafts coming in here. And they're going to do something pretty amazing. They're going to lower themselves just like that so that they can dismount all the infantry. And there is a lot inside, I can tell you that much. So we're going to go ahead and assign them to some different areas here where they can continue the attack successfully against the US defenders and make sure they all get out. So we're going to go ahead and enable the cinematic mode again. And we're going to watch as the naval infantry is disembarking. Look at that. Hoorah! So many Russian Marines. Another 200 men here. 2 companies being deployed. Awesome. These are massive. Look at them. And I'm so glad they're in this mod, which is probably one of the reasons why I'm playing this mod. It was recently updated, and it's called the Cold War 1.6.2, I believe, and it's for Men of War Assault Squad. Not Assault Squad 2, but Men of War Assault Squad. So, without further ado, I'm going to get some organization going here with the BTRs, and we're going to obviously continue the assault. The Marines are going to need all the help they can get now, because believe it or not, we are about to attack the very hill that stands between us and complete victory for this time. There's going to be a second part of this battle, which is going to involve more armor and whatnot, because this map has more to offer. Sneak peek. There you go. Sneaky peeky. And I am really excited to see that come into play. I would hope that some of these paladins would utilize their full range. They have great range. So why don't we allow them to do that beautifully. These are beautiful beasts. So we should just, of course, allow them to utilize the range that they have. The AI doesn't seem to be all too willing right now. Boom! Oh, look at that. BTR-80 just gone in one explosion. That was some really accurate fire. We've got hundreds of Marines coming in right now. Just lines and lines of Marines entering the city now. They're here to clear it all out. Look at the grouping here. That is one hell of a formation. Well, I only have one job right now, which is to send these guys into the fight. Because most of this part seems to have been cleared out. Yes. Exactly what he said. And, oh my, jeez. This position is still active. Grenade launcher has been knocked out. A few men dead on the side. But we have one guy active. And, well, it seems as all the BTRs have been knocked out along with all the infantry. That's a bloody kill zone. And this checkpoint is still active too. So the men back here from the first wave, I'm going to have to assign them to the fight now. BTRs knocked out. Plenty of casualties, actually. How's it looking with manpower? Because I'm going to need more. This is unexpected. But also welcome. Like a little uncertainty in the battle. I like it when the battles are pretty much always uncertain in terms of result. You don't really know how they're gonna go. This could be a US victory, we don't know yet. But if it isn't, there will definitely be a part 2. More BTRs are joining in on the fight. This LAV just knocked out another BTR. But more infantry and more BTRs are on the way. But as I said, plenty of these guys are already knocked out on the beach. Completely combat inactive. So that's very unfortunate for the attacking Russians, so to speak. Russian infantry moving up the hill. Oh, Captain was just shot. Oh, and he fell down the hill. Oh, look at that. US reinforcements. Go, go, go! Sweet. Bradley's burning. It's been knocked out. But the BTRs are moving up. The sound design of this mod, I think it might be the game that has like sound buffers, like maximum amount of simultaneous sounds being played, which might be a little lower than what we're used to in Men of War Assault Squad 2. So that's always a little minus, which will obviously impact the sounds of the battles, make it seem a little less at times. Look at that. I'm going to enable the HUD again. Let's just see what we have in terms of assets. We have a lot of assets all over the world. It's like one of these, not all over the world, all over the map in this case. It's just one of those major battles, and it's really cool. It feels like we're playing like a grand strategy here, like a Total War kind of thing. Okay, we're losing more and more vehicles, though, as we're attacking. And I think this is because of the huge map and the realistic numbers. We're really deploying full-scale battalions here. And the US have had about 300 defenders against the 600 Russian attacking. And that is a good number of defenders for an unprepared defense against a Russian naval attack. Very, very, very good defense. It could have been a lot worse for the Americans defending. They could have had almost no one deployed at this point. So that's very good for them. Bradley's still active. They just lost a paladin up here. Some crewmen are running around, but the BTRs are obviously taking some serious bloody beating back here. It's not looking good at all for anyone. Bradley's still opening fire at the BTRs down below. I'm going to give these BTRs the possibility of moving at will. I think it's like the common right for BTRs of the modern day to be able to move as they please. These are knocked out. Not knocked out, but disabled. We still have people on the beaches here trying to sort things out. I'm going to take these 3 BTRs and I'm going to attack, make sure they're on free move, and I'm going to send them up to the north village here. And they're going to try and attack the supply depot. I'm also going to grab a handful of men. As many as I can from all the sectors. We've got like the middle, left, and right. There's plenty still here by the beach who are like resting. And of course, making sure that it's cleared from US troops. And then we have a very big concentration of Russian troops over here. That they're all going to be sent in. But the battle for the hill is still very much raging on. We've got a Bradley active, a Paladin that's firing at a BTR that was just absolutely demolished in the forest. Oh, and it took a hit itself now. That was really cool. Forest is burning, Russian infantry is going down, but they're going to continue the attack. I wonder how many hundreds of Russians will have died today attacking these US positions. Well, we know for a fact that probably all 300 US defenders will die, but perhaps they have killed 400 Russians in this attack? It'll be interesting to see how many stand. Russian infantry is just swarming this hill right now. But this has been just a great battle so far, and this is only part 1. There's going to be a part 2 a little bit later, which will be very interesting. Bradley down after taking down many Russian attackers. Oh, nice shot. Oh, Christ, I don't know if they hit a grenade or something, but he's down. He went up in a bloody explosion. And right now, just the remnants of the American defenders up on the hill are being destroyed. And how's it looking on this attack on the supply depot? Missed out a little bit on this, I'd say. Just gotta make sure that the infantry is moving up. We're losing BTRs here in this attack. That's fascinating. They've already taken out one, and one's been disabled. There goes another rocket. It hit the BTR. It's not down, though. We want to involve some more infantry on this side as well, of course. Got a captain here. One of the few leading this assault. Oh, he's just shot down by a sniper. Well, captain goes first. It's very brave. Grenade launcher. Hitting the Russian attackers on the side there. Caught off a little off guard. It's a bit of a bloodbath here. Oh, they're going to return fire, but they're going to be forced to retreat. BTR down. There's one active back here opening up at the US defenders. More Russian infantry is being committed to the fight. Some people down here by the supply depot are still alive. I'm going to take quick command of the US defenders over here. They're going to pull out. They're going to bring some of this obviously very important equipment and try and bring it out. This is a fuel truck. Obviously quite unaware of how the battle is going in general. These guys are going to pull out as best as they can, so to speak. Cool. Well, the hill has been more or less secured. We need to continuously attack that supply depot with the assets that we have remaining here. So I'm going to send another 30 or so Russians that way. Look on the minimap again. I can't seem to find any active BTRs. There's one over here. I'm going to send that one to the side. Look at the explosions. That's absolutely crazy. This is so cool. More infantry's coming up. We have some here who aren't being repaired. It's just chaotic back here. We'll go through the casualties in just a second. And over here, every single BTR seems to have been disabled, which kind of makes sense. I don't know why they're still shooting up here. I guess they're celebrating the victory a little prematurely. Guys, you've only just like captured, I don't know, a few 100 meters of inland territory here. There's going to be a very big battle later in, or further in towards the right soon, which I'm very excited for. But now let's wrap this battle up, and this video rather, with the final attack here on the supply depot, which still have plenty of US defenders holding it down. BTR coming into play though. It's going to be very difficult for the remaining US defenders here to hold that back. They're quite quickly shot down. Oh! Look at that. They're still holding it bravely. Look at that. Some of these supply trucks are making a run for it. This one's getting out. How's it looking with the other ones? This one's about to right now too. I want to make sure that this guy has a good go at it as well. All you gotta do is back it up, buddy, and then turn it to the right. Oh, we're hitting a tree here. I just want these guys to get out. It makes more sense than just to have them sit by. One of the trucks made it out, so let's see if you can't do it yourself. Wouldn't that be cool, huh? Earn a little medal or something for running supplies through enemy lines, if you can make it, that is. Go for it, guys, go for it. Look at the Russian presence on the field. This is a cool way to wrap it up. They might think it's Russian for a second. They're not going to engage it. Oh, one guy probably sniffed the Bud Light in the back seat. Oh. have had a few shots at it, but he's going to continue going. He's going to get away with the loot. Cool. And there's another one coming by. The last one. What, you know, the fuel and stuff, that's really important, of course, to the war effort, so. I don't know. They don't want to get run over. But those are very heavily armored. Or, like, these are pretty heavy vehicles, so they're going to get through. Battle is still raging on over here, though. The US are still holding some of the barricades. We got some men running around here. They're trying to, obviously, place themselves differently. Supplies are burning up right now. That's not great. The Russians would probably prefer to capture it. This BTR is down as well. Bit of a firefight here in the courtyard. A few Americans shot down. Some are trying to make a run for it back here, but it's not going to last very long as more Russian infantry is just swarming in. And I think this has been pretty much cleared out. There's just a few Americans holding it back over here. We're going to watch as these guys are most likely going to go down any second now. I think he tried to tell the sniper, we gotta go, but too late, he was shot down. Both are killed down, and there's just one man standing back there. So let's take a look at casualties. It's been a fairly long battle. Russian casualties in red, US in yellow. And we can see that here on the left side of the beach, not all too many. The vehicles were mainly the biggest losers in this case, the BTRs. Barely any alive out of the 48. Can you believe it? 48 BTRs, and we have like 2 or 3 active. Jeez, it's crazy. Plenty of Russian casualties around here. It's just a vehicle graveyard. Plenty of Russian Marines, though, walking around making sure that it's all cleared. This building has been secured. We got some more men back here. It's really cool to see them all move around and do their thing. A few casualties here and there. Lots of Russian casualties here, but plenty of Americans up on the hill itself. This here was a bit of a kill zone. And we're not seeing all the casualties because a lot of the bodies have been, like, detonated, you know, because of the explosive rounds and whatnot, so. Wow, cool. And this hill has been such a bloody fight for the Russians trying to take it. Assaulting everywhere, losing all the vehicles that they committed to it. Obviously destroying a lot of US assets as well. This is part 1. Part 2 is going to be pretty cool. I'm going to give you guys... Oh, look at that. This was bloody as well. Give you guys a little sneak peek of what's coming up. This hill is going to be prepped with heavy US weaponry. All this back here. And they're going to be trying to defend the backside of this village. And there's going to be some more artillery, more US lines over here. But that's about it. 2 really heavy hills that the Russians are going to try and take. Obviously, they're going to be attacking with more tanks and whatnot. So that should be really cool. All right, well, I think the Marine Brigade here has done its... Look at them all standing here. Davai. Oh, when captain moves, everyone moves. Okay, I don't know what they're doing. They're having a little congregation there, but cool stuff nonetheless. Big bloody battle. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys soon again. Ciao.